Welcome back to Surf Splendor, episode number 569. My name is David Scales. Thrilled to be here and introducing today's guest, who, in fact, won a Guinness for the biggest wave ever surfed back in 2003. He was only 18 years old at the time. It was a 66 footer at Jaws. That was after he surfed Waimea for the first time at age 8, which is insane. He tells that story here today. He's been invited to the Eddie Aikau Invitational at Waimea Bay multiple times, competed there. He won the Sunset World Cup, and he actually got a 9.5 in that final. He went on to win a Big Wave World title in 2015. Incredible accolades in his surf career. But in 2013, he kind of transitioned into a music career by releasing his first music album. It was called Soundwave, and he toured that all over the U.S., opening for artists such as Modest Yahoo, Sublime, The Wailers. Earlier this year, he actually released a track with Wiz Khalifa called Clear the Air. And then this weekend, he'll be performing at Taylor Steele's Solento Fest in San Diego. And then in a couple of weeks from now, September 26th, he'll be performing at Ohana Fest, opening for Eddie Vedder. Pretty incredible stuff. So his name is Makua Rothman. You know him well. And he's the son of famed North Shore heavy and co-founder of Dahui, Eddie Rothman. Before we hear from Makua, we owe a thanks to our sponsors who make Surf Splendor possible. That is, of course, the trifecta of the Surfrider Foundation, Veyer Watches, and Real Water Sports. The ocean needs more friends, so become a member of Surfrider at surfrider.org. I'm actually proud to say that we've launched a podcast in partnership with Surfrider. I'm hosting it. This most recent episode we released this week was episode 4, and it is on offshore oil drilling. So this is a topic I knew almost nothing about. I always see those offshore oil rigs. I know I'm dependent on oil. I'm driving every day. I'm using petroleum products. So I wanted to learn more, and I learned a ton in this episode, and I think you probably could too. So go check that out on the Surfriders YouTube channel. Search Surfrider Podcast, and of course, become a member at surfrider.org. And then Veyer Watches. I love my Veyer Watches. They outfit the entire North Shore Lifeguard Association, but these are high quality, durable, and beautiful timepieces. And I'll save you 15% on your Veyer Watch by going through veyerwatches.com/surfsplendor. And then lastly, Real Water Sports for any and all of your water sport needs. Surfboards, foil gear, board bags, right down to beach towels, sunblock, and coolers. They have everything you need. They ship globally. They have impeccable customer service, and you can get it all through realwatersports.com. Okay, as you know, my name is David Scales for Surf Splendor, and I really hope that you enjoy my conversation with Big Wave World Champ and musician Makua Rothman.
Surf Splendor.
That episode you did with Mason and Jamie has over
Yes.
124,000 views on YouTube as of yesterday. And you shared some dark truths about your upbringing on the North Shore. What's the feedback been to that? Have you gotten any flack about it?
No, the truth usually sets you free. And depends where you are, what you did. But it was amazing. It was a great feedback. It was something that people have been wanting to hear for a long time. And it is what it is, So there was no real flack back to be had because it's really what it was. There was no fluff.
That's good. I think the audience definitely wants to hear it, and appreciates the vulnerability and all that stuff. But you mentioned Quiksilver by name. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's somebody who I feel like would come send some sort of a cease and desist or something like that.
Well, unless they could prove it was untrue,
Right.
then I'm sure it's what it is. And Quicksilver, Quicksilver was a sponsor of mine. I've worked closely with Quicksilver for a long time, and the people at Quicksilver in the group aren't necessarily at fault. The founders and some of the people behind the money were the guys doing the thing, and I just happened to. So yeah, that'd be a good thing to apologize to Quicksilver because it wasn't, the group or trying to shed any light just on them. It's just I was, part of that time, and that was the name that came to mind. So honestly, that's a good thing you bring up because I really like to apologize to the Quicksilver group because they're hardworking families and people that do a lot of great for our surfing community and have for a long time. And that was just a name that was on the end of my tongue because I know kind of the intricate workings of that.
Yeah, and I mean, look, the company's evolved so much since then, and the people have turned over and all that sort of stuff. So it is a rumor, or, books have been written about it and movies have been made about it. So it's not exactly a rumor,
Mhm.
but yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Um, what about I wanted to go back a little bit. I think everybody obviously knows your dad and has heard a lot of the lore surrounding your dad, but nobody knows anything about your mom. Do you want to share anything about your mom and who she is or what she did for work or your upbringing
My
with her?
mom. My mom is a amazing person. She's her name is Lutrell or Trella. And my mom didn't have it easy in those times, let me tell you. And blamed a lot of stuff on her absence on her a long time in my life and had a rough relationship with her. But now that I understand that she did her best in the confines of pretty confined back then, what she had and what she could do. I'm just very inspired and moved by her strength to come out the other side and keep on going. And I really think a lot of people know my dad, like you said. Maybe they heard of him, they might not know him, but they also don't know how strong of a woman my mom is and how much her strength has played into my athletics, my mindset, and really understanding who I am. A lot of that came from my mother, and that's a great thing. Thank you for letting me share that.
She's Hawaiian, right?
Oh yeah, she's Hawaiian.
How long has her family been there? Or what's her family backstory?
Oh well, it's funny because everybody says, this guy's my cousin, that guy's my cousin, but I could pull it up on my phone. My mom she's either 11th or 12th generation Kamehameha. So like you have King Kamehameha and then down through Parker Ranch, our Parker family, the Parker Ranch on the Big Island, all the way down to me and my mom. So I think I might be 12th generation from the chief of ward King over there that you guys see on Apple TV. And that's my mom. That's where my Hawaiian comes from. And yeah, like I said, so much of that mana or that power, all of the aloha that I have in my heart comes from my mother.
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Um, what do you think are some kind of public misunderstandings about your father?
don't know
What do
if
you
there's too many misunderstandings. I mean, he's a very unapologetic guy. He did what he did, and excuse my language, but he doesn't give a fuck if people understand him or want to know why or this or that. He's who he is, and I think he wears that on his sleeve pretty comfortably. So if there's a misunderstanding, it may be in other people's minds, but his message is clear. He said it many times, and I think that you kind of just got to take him for who he is, from what he says, because he really doesn't hold back.
has he softened with age or since becoming a grandfather or anything like that?
I mean, softened, I don't think that's the word because he may be physically getting older, but man, at 76, I want to say, his mind is so sharp, you
Really?
know. And, obviously, anybody at 76 years old is not physically able to do some of the things they used to do, but he's a better chess player than ever, let me tell you.
Is he really?
Oh, yeah.
What does he do to keep so sharp?
He trains. I mean, that guy trains like an animal. I mean, I really think his physical fitness routine. I mean, there's football players, there's big old bodybuilders that come over and they do a leg exercise with him and they're just shot after. I mean, like some of the greatest athletes have ever played a lot of sports have come to our jujitsu fighters, whatever it is. They come and they train with pops and they're like, this guy's an absolute savage. And I just think that that routine of doing it his whole entire life a certain way has kept his mind from a lot of those things that you would call softened. I think he's just a lot more methodical, a lot more strategic, and knows that um, you know, resistance may not be the best way. There's a lot more He'll be a lot more intelligent at his age.
Fascinating. Does he still surf?
Still stand-up paddles,
Okay.
longboards every once in a while. He likes to stand-up paddle a lot. He just had double shoulder replacement, double hip replacement. So he's been working through that the last few years. So it's a lot easier for him to stand up paddle right now than it is to prone paddle.
Yeah. Does he stand up paddling into waves?
Oh yeah, he surfs behind the house. I mean, if you go to Freddie Land or V-Land or Revelations on any given day where there's waves at all, he's probably out there stand-up paddling. Him and Brian Surratt have been power foiling or whatever you call that with the foil drive. They've been down there in Haleiwa. He's been getting back into the groove with Uncle Brian and getting on that foil. So they've been having fun, him and his old pals. You know, like I said, they're much smarter and know that there's better ways to do things and have fun nowadays that'll keep them free and alive. So, yeah.
Good for him. Do you even remember your first surf experience?
I can't say that I remember the first one. I remember the first bad one.
What was that?
I was at the Eddie Aikau ceremony. I must have been about 8 years old. I remember some surf sessions around that time, but this one was very, very interesting. It was in a circle and there was waves that year. And back then I was one of the only children that was allowed in the lineup. So a set came when, break the circle and everybody moves over. And my dad's like, "You want to catch one?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to catch one," right? Well, thinking I'm all this. And a set comes. Paddle, boy, we're inside, and there's like Dane, Kealoha, and Mike Oho, and I mean, you just name it, Clyde Aikau, everybody back in the Derek Donor. And my dad pushes me to push me over the wave, and he pushes me, and I went that way. He remembers my arm, yeah, because he tried to push me over the wave, right? The wave's coming, I'm little, big board. I can't duck dive it on a wave that big. So he tried to push me over the wave. And it was at the last second, he pushed me up and I just went backwards over the falls. And he told me it was a 2-wave hold down. I'm not sure, but I remember I was crying, full of water, thought I drowned. And one thing I really remember was like, he's like, "Okay, we're going to go in." He's like, "Oh," I'm like, "I want to catch one." And he's like, "This kid is out of his mind." So they got me in the spot, got me a little one, got me in. And, but yeah, that was a trip.
I mean, so many other kids, 9 out of 10 other kids would have packed it up and been afraid to surf. What do you think was in you that made you want to do the opposite?
I just wanted to be like those guys. They're all the best, baddest surfers on planet Earth at the time, and I didn't want to go in with my tail between my legs. They were all looking at me and I'm like, "Oh, I need another one." I don't even know if I really wanted another one. It was just like instinct. At that time, I had to be this tough kid. I was Eddie Rothman's son. All my uncles were Johnny, Dane, anybody from Aki to Luke Egan. They're all at my house, And at that time, I wasn't going to be the one that went in.
Yeah.
So.
Kind of a adjacent question, but on the podcast, we've been having a conversation for a long time about who is the best surfer to have never won a world title. And 2 names that have come up, you just mentioned, Dane, Kealoha, and Mike Ho. Guys who have won significant events, had success on tour, big wave prowess, small wave prowess. Do you have any thoughts on that conversation, or from when you were growing up, what did you witness?
Yeah, I mean, those are 2 names, some of the greatest names that will ever be in history of surfing. And for them not to win a world title, I know there's been a lot of controversy around that, the way that it was. But when you subject yourself to an organization, organizations have politics. It's played out since the beginning of history, and they were victims of political decisions, I believe. And I don't know how much the title would have done. I mean, look at Michael Ho. He's 66 years old, 67 or something, still pulling in at backdoor. So, I mean, he is the GOAT right now. I mean, Kelly Slater's probably the greatest to ever surf professionally on a surfboard, right? But you got to give it to Michael Ho. He's still out there, even when Kelly's not out there, surfing pipe as big as it gets. And some of the best guys on tour can't do what he's doing right now. So Michael Ho is an inspiration, and title or not, he's a world champion in all of our hearts. And I think he's a champion of surfing. He's the people's champion.
Totally. No, it's epic to see what he's been doing. I feel like in the last few years, um, a lot of the older guys, like 50 and over guys, have kind of set the benchmark. Pete Mel's wave at Mavericks a couple of years ago, Kelly at Pipe a couple of years ago, the Pipe Masters, certainly Mike Ho. Um, it's incredible to see. Those guys are setting a new like standard for how long you can do it.
I just think they're built differently.
Yeah,
Have that like talk. They don't have that outside, I need to look cool. They did it because it meant something to them, and it still means something to them. And it's in their heart, it's in their DNA, and they're bona fide surfers. Pete Mel's not a big, I mean, he does have a great sponsor now, but like, they're not doing it for all these other likes and views. They do it because they live and breathe surfing. And they
totally.
always have, and they will until the day that they can't walk, I believe.
Tom Carroll too. He just posted a clip yesterday. I think it was from Cloudbreak, and it was like unreal. That
The
guy's
style, I mean,
and
did you see that style? Did it look any different than when it was in 1991 at the Pipe Masters? I mean, Tom
it,
Carroll, the journey he's on, the way he takes care of his mind and his body, his soul in that style of surfing is just unmatched. I don't care if he does guys do 100-foot air. You see Tom Carroll take off and pull in on a beautiful left. It's timeless.
yeah, and he's as fit as he was back then too, which is kind of crazy.
He could be fitter.
I think well, the mental thing that you're talking about, he's definitely fitter.
Yeah. So, I mean, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? I think your mental state is everything. So right
Yeah.
now he's crushing it. He's been a big inspiration to me on my journey right now. And being around those guys from a child, from infancy, and being around those guys, Aki guys coming over when I was 6 months old, bringing me gifts from Australia, and just watching the evolution of this to this right now mentally is very inspiring. Thank you, Tom, for that. Appreciate it.
Well, part of that, I don't know, them talking about the journey along the way too, like Tom being vulnerable and kind of being an open book about it, I think is inspirational as well. Like because a lot of that stuff existed in secrecy prior, and I think just opening it up destigmatizes it and
I
allows
got to
people to
watch
relate
it
to it.
as a kid. That was crazy.
What exactly did you see?
I mean, that's their story to tell. I'll tell
Yeah.
mine.
Well, you did say your journey. Talk about that a little bit. What has inspired this new phase of life?
I mean, there's so many things. I can't really nail down one specifically, but to do things that matter, to help society, to help the culture, to help other people through my stories. I've always been one thing people might not know about me is I'm actually a really nice person. I put up a big facade, a big veil for a long time. And being nice really does feel good to me,
Mm.
and this journey, when knowing I wasn't doing the right things, knowing that this is not what I'm supposed to do, knowing every day, talking to myself, the only thing I wanted to do was be sober. I didn't want to do drugs. I wanted to be sober, but I was stuck in a vicious cycle of addiction. And I think it really matters to me to live the life I talk about now and not just talk about it, because the results are going to speak for themselves. And a lot of the times now you see online, there's so much talk, but if you really dig deep, it's not real. It's talk, it's cliche, it's taking words that words really don't mean nothing. It's the actions, it's the lifestyle. People see right through that, like children. When I was in a bad phase in my life, I wonder why my children act a certain way. Well, because I acted that way. How do they learn to speak? How do they learn to do anything? You have to show them how it's done. You can't just tell them. Write a T like this. You have to show them. They read your lips as a child, so they'll read your actions, your vibration, and all of that stuff. And a lot of the times now, it got real cloudy online. Everybody could say things, and it's really turning now. People are starting to see you have to live that. You have to back that up. That authenticity people talk about, and every meeting you go to, organic, authentic. Those are actions. Those aren't words. And I really think these that them those surfers that came before me that are now on this journey and vulnerable enough to tell their story, their inspiration comes from people like that and
Mm.
others that I had to connect with their story to be able to be strong enough to do what I do now. And hopefully I can do the same for others.
Um, what was fueling your addiction?
Me being an idiot and making bad choices. I
I
mean, just,
mean, I
I mean,
mean, there. Go ahead.
there's a lot of things, now that I'm on this side that I noticed that were just excuses for me not wanting to take responsibility of my actions. I was fucking up straight up. It's not a joke. It's not a secret. This is not good. And you get caught into a cycle and it turns into something that is out of your control. And, there's so many things I can blame it on, or I can say, oh, this was fueling it, that was fueling it. I fell into, uh, how would you say it? I mean, my inability to carry the responsibilities, my inability or my not wanting to, you want to become world champion, you want to do these things, you want to accomplish these great things. Well, those great things come with great responsibilities. My dad was supposed to be this guy on the North Shore. Everybody thought, hey, automatically, oldest son, he's going to take over and all these things. I wanted to run and hide from that. And I found that the dopamine hit or the drugs or whatever quieted all that, and I could just kind of tiptoe around everything, and it made all of that go away. You know what I mean? It was just
Yeah.
not wanting to take responsibility for my kuleana or what I was responsible for, and I wasn't strong enough. I didn't want to, whatever it may be. I don't really know if there's a thing that I can say what was fueling it besides I know right from wrong, and I was choosing wrong, plain and
Yeah.
simple.
Do you feel like you had some of your biggest surf accomplishments during the time when you were struggling with that addiction? Do you feel like in the end the addiction limited your surf career or what you could have accomplished beyond those?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I would be on pills uh pretty much every day. And I go surf a contest. I take a blocker, an opiate blocker to make like I was good. And but I wasn't. And I lost lots of world titles. I've lost a lot of trust from people. I lost a lot of love from my family. I lost myself. So there's so many things beyond surfing that I lost at that time, but it's okay because now that I understand, what I need to fix and the wrongs that I can right, I work to do that every day. I work hard at it. And I think that just understanding where I was and where I want to go and what really matters to me nowadays helps. And I don't have a doubt I wouldn't have been multiple time world champion,
Yeah.
you know.
Was there a rock bottom moment?
Rock bottom. It's just I was done with it. I was sick of it. I finally had an injury that put me into a place where I had to change. Like I woke up from surgery and I already knew. Dr. Mossy knew. He talked to friends of mine and family of mine before I went to surgery and knew that he couldn't give me any pain medicine.
Mm.
I woke up and I did my knee with nothing, knee surgery, and I
What?
couldn't even take ibuprofen. And the ibuprofen part was because I had stem cells and BMAC and all that stuff put in, so it works against it.
Okay.
But that was a trip, and
What was the injury or how did you get injured?
I blew my knee out at the backdoor shootout.
That's right. Okay. Is
I
that
was
the
so I was so fucked up that I couldn't surf the way I was gonna surf. I was overweight. I could barely paddle. I wasn't surfing. I was surfing just enough to make like I was surfing, and of course everybody could see it. Like I thought I was fooling everybody. Only person I was fooling was myself. And it wasn't too funny when I blew my knee out. It hurt. And I actually had to surf the Eddie Aikau the next day. Tell you the truth, I didn't even sleep the night before. I had a blown out knee, so I was self-medicating and surfed the next day and went to surgery right after that. And that was it. I left it all at that event. And, it hurts my heart because I surf in memory of such a great waterman, and to surf that contest fucked up was that was a real trip. That's something that's close to my heart. That's something, if it runs this year, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna win it. Mark my words. And last year I was just barely fragile enough to surf in my mind. So yeah, I don't know if there's a real rock bottom, but I just it was time for me to change or die. Pretty
What
easy.
year was that?
I believe it was January 15th. I got hurt in the backdoor shootout. I want to say right around there, because I know the 16th, the last day of the holding period. And then I know I surfed the contest the 22nd. I got surgery the 24th. The funny thing, Mossy, my doctor Mossy, I love you, Mossy. I said, what do you think about the knee? He goes, well, whatever else you do, I can fix it. So this is going to be your last hurrah for a while. Go out there and do it all the way. Anything else messes up, I'll fix it for you. I said, I love you, Mossy, all my heart. And I went out there, surfed, and he took care of me, and he helped me, talk to me after surgery and said, this is what it's going to be. And I said, I accepted that, and we're here now.
What's been the success in recovery? Did you do like a AA, or what's been the method? Are you doing therapy? Like, what's been successful for you?
I just went back to training as hard as I possibly could and writing music. Going back to music, my surfing career was pretty much over at that moment. I mean, it's pretty much over when I was partying, and I just didn't know it, or I knew it, but I didn't want to accept it. So that could be one of the things that was on my mind, helping me to walk around the corner. But yeah, the music, knowing that I have a blessing as well in music, and thinking, should the gods bless me with another chance, I'm gonna put everything I have into my lyrics so that it matters to people when they hear it. And it was a way for me to cope with the pain and the withdrawals and all the stuff that came with it. I just wrote about it. So now when you hear my music, it's not really nice music per se. I got Pilly the Kid, God and the Devil. Got a new one coming out September 26th called All I Ever Wanted. So a lot of that came from writing and just kind of expressing myself on paper, all the feelings I had, and not holding them in. And now that's why I believe my story is so powerful, and that's why I share it openly, because I know how powerful it was for me, and it helps me every time that I let it out. Not holding in, not compartmentalizing and trying to stuff stuff away, but dealing with it, just like a hard training session. I have to do it. I don't have a choice, and it makes me feel good after. So I like it a lot.
Do you remember when you identified an interest or a talent for playing music and songwriting?
Well, I mean, Hawaiian culture is music and dance. That's how they communicated at one point, and it's art. Is sharing stories through an art form, dance. And so it's something that was in my family for a long time. My grandmother, my mother, my grandfather played every instrument, and my grandmother's sister has a company called Tihati, which is probably one of the biggest Polynesian entertainment groups in Hawaii. They do all like that new Awana show in Waikiki. Their dancers are there, and they do all the big luau's. So it's just part of life, playing music. And it's funny because Rob Garcia, my trainer, my strength and conditioning coach, I was gonna go to Indo, and he's like, don't go, you're gonna be like the other 1,500 surfers and get the same clip at Desert Point as everybody else. Do your music. It's something different. You know what I mean? You have a gift for it. Just try it. Like, stay here, finish your training camp. Don't go and get the same wave everybody else is gonna get, and do your music, just try it. Just stay here and do that for me for one time. And so I stayed, and that's really what set me on a path of like doing it as a career as well.
Um, what about songwriting though? I mean, songwriting is a specific talent and gift. Do you remember identifying a talent for that or when you did?
Um, I just love to play music and, to share my stories. It's only this time around. The last one, John Feldman, really helped push me to write my first album, Soundwave. And that was more of a collaborative writing thing, where this one is more personal. And I had to actually, my producer, Jimmy Messer, I actually started my own record label. My partner in that, he really pushed me, and he said I'd write songs, and he goes, that says the same thing as everyone else. Write something that matters. And I'm like, okay. So it was hard, and it's still hard to this day. It's not going to be easy, but the more I put my stories into songs, the easier it gets.
Okay. How'd you connect with Wiz Khalifa? It really feels like you've connected with an A-list, team. You've been touring with kind of big names and stuff. So how did you connect with the community? And then specifically Wiz.
Well, specifically Wiz was just I got lucky. It was a paid collaboration for Ozium, and they wanted to hook me up with Wiz Khalifa. And I was like, huh? Me? Like, he's way up here, and just him giving the opportunity to lend his voice and his image and shoot the video with me and all that stuff. We connected, and that was the real connection, when I got to shoot the video with him and talk life and his kids and his what's going on. It was cool. He's such an awesome human. A lot of people see these A-list celebrities as maybe unapproachable and stuff, and for him to show that much aloha to basically a nobody that he didn't know was comforting. It was cool to know that what we were talking about, and mattered enough for him to put his likeness and image. So thanks, Wiz, for that, and I really appreciate that. That was cool. That was one where it was a luck of the draw, and I was chosen to do something cool with one of the biggest names there is.
Did that open up any new opportunities?
It opened up a lot of opportunities. It opened up a lot of it opened opportunities. It made me respect the real professionalism of the craft, and not just be like, oh, I'm just playing music. Like, these guys live and breathe this. They're not doing it for fun. I mean, obviously they have fun doing it. This is their livelihood. It's like I reflected back to surfing. When you want to be the best, you have to do everything it takes to be the best. You have to treat it like it is. You have to be on your game. And those guys really live and breathe everything that they do. They're not just talking shit. You know what I mean? So it was awesome. It opened my mind and my eyes to an opportunity of, if I really do this like I wanted to win a world title, it's possible. But you have to do it like the best do it. And there's no maybes. You're in all the way and you live it. Or especially in music, there's so much music out there. People sniff that out in a second.
Yeah, totally. Talking about some of the lyrics, like you said, the songs are true stories and they're about pretty serious stuff, but I don't know, to me the tone is more upbeat. Like the songs actually sound more fun. And then once you look into lyrics, you're like, oh, this is some serious stuff. But for the people around you, like your parents or people who love you, have the lyrics, is it difficult for them to hear the seriousness of what you're
Well, you
writing
should
about?
see, yeah. They're gonna like the next one that comes out, All I Ever Wanted. I can tell you that.
What's it about?
It's the diary of a broken child, and how I felt in all of that turmoil. And all I ever wanted was their love. And most of the time, the love that I felt like shit. It didn't feel like love. I mean, I guess my parents did what they had to protect me, and they did a great job at it, physically, and made sure that, to the best of their ability, they were probably dealing with childhood traumas that, spilt over. So I can't blame them. They did the
100%.
best. I'm sitting here now, and This is just the diary of a broken child that was looking for love and how I felt. And I'll give you some lyrics right off the bat. It says, Mama always wished that I had never been born all silky smooth, and started growing my horns right off the gate, you know. Um, all the all the love that I felt was given to me at the end of this belt. So
Mm.
you know, it's what it was. And there's so many people that I believe have similar stories in their own way, and maybe haven't found or have the strength to choose and to overcome it. And hopefully by connecting with the lyrics, they could look deeper into who I am and my story, and maybe it can help them. So for me, it matters to me when I speak. So I don't want to, just say anything just because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has that been confronting for them to hear? I mean, have they had conversations with you about processing?
Yeah, I got the question, who's God and who's the devil? God and the devil had a baby, and it was me, But I've had a lot of long conversations with my parents lately, and they know where I'm at, and they know that I love them very much, and I appreciate them. I'm just happy to have a mom and dad that I can call and they pick up the phone. So many people in this world don't have that. So whatever happened, happened. What am I
Well,
going to do with the time now that I have with them? And how can I cherish that and spend it? Because one day I'm not going to be able to pick up the phone and call my dad or my mom. And I understand that now. So right now, forgiveness is key, and forgiveness might just be for me to be able to forgive myself for blaming them for all these things, and being able to love them as much as I can, because we don't know how much time we have left. So what am I going to do with that? Am I going to spend it being mad and spiteful and vicious, or am I going to choose to make the world a better place, my world around me, and love my parents?
it's deep. I mean, it's very evolved of you because um, you're right. A lot of people don't have their parents. And then additionally, some people who do have their parents are just callous against them. I know people who don't hug their parents, maybe only see them for the holidays, if even that. And so to be able to have actual real dialogue about what you experienced and what you felt and allow them to actually hear it is evolved. That's a deep
Well,
level of a relationship.
I understand that there may be situations where they're not able to because the situation was so bad or certain things, and I understand that. But for me, and this is just me speaking, I got to a place where I could really address those things with them, man, man to woman, and love them at the same time. And God bless everybody else that's going through certain things. If there is a way that you can put down your own ego and your own pride, and be vulnerable enough to have the conversations, have them, because sometimes the situation isn't as bad as you think, and it's really ourselves not liking something about ourselves and not being able to put our ego aside that holds us from that connection that we can have with our parents again.
Well, look, I think you're giving them a gift, you know, based on their upbringing, they had limitations and, they didn't have the same vulnerability, but they've gifted you a certain life. You've evolved beyond what they were able to. And now that you have some of these understandings, being able to share that with them is probably helping them evolve into a new phase of life and understanding and vulnerability.
That's my hope, that I can, my parents have helped me. I can't say, they were great people. They were doing what they could, and they helped me a lot. They gave me so many opportunities. My mom put that mana and that aloha in my heart from our ancestors. And, you know, if I can help them even 1% to become better people as well, knowing that I helped my community, my family around me, I think that's what leaders should do. They take their resources and share them with others, whether they're above or below. We're all on this earth together. And I think that if I can help my lahui or my family, my ohana, directly around me and impact them, I'm happy.
I mean, they got to be proud of you. I mean, the music career and the surf stuff,
Well,
yes, but then
hope,
additionally, this stuff.
hopefully it's about time. Nah, nah, nah.
Some people don't feel comfortable expressing their pride, but I guarantee you they're proud of you.
No, I'm proud of them too.
Good. Uh, are you sure? Where'd you learn all this? This feels very therapeutic. Did you go through therapy or is this just lessons learned?
I really told myself that I'm going to take the steps necessary to heal myself, and whatever it takes. It's not comfortable, it's not fun, it doesn't feel good all the time. Even coming in front of the world and sharing my story still feels foreign, but I know it matters. And the more I do it and the more I stay dedicated to the process, not the results, not the championships, everything in life really is, it correlates. You want to be this is the formula for it. There's no secret to life. Hard work speaks for itself. And this is the hardest work I've ever done, but it feels good because I'm accomplishing, challenging myself, not anybody else. This, it doesn't matter. I can't, it's not red versus blue. I don't need a 2.9 to make the heat. This is something to keep me alive.
Mm.
And hopefully the message alive for eternity for other people to share and carry on. And I believe in my heart that's aloha, to be able to do my best and be my best so that I can, when my words are spoken or heard, they stay around for a long time and they help people, um help them to find their purpose and hopefully what matters to them.
Um, this question sounds superficial
Mhm.
in response to that, but it's all related. Um, how much weight have you lost?
I started like at 200 and maybe 5 pounds. um I should send you guys a photo. You can put it up of what I look
Yeah.
like and what I look like now. It's a trip. And I think the biggest weight that I lost was the weight of expectation. That was the biggest weight that was lifted off me. The physical weight, it matters kind of, but the weight that I lifted off of myself, being able to open up and grind, that feels like I was holding the weight of the whole entire North Shore, of this thing, of that thing, of all these things that were expected of me. Once I was able to step aside of that, that was the biggest weight. That was that was where I was able to grow. I was under a rock. And
Mm.
once I was able to move out from under that rock, I'm able to get my roots in the ground finally. So I'm just starting to maybe scratch the surface, but I know that yeah, the weight, 30 pounds, about 30, maybe a little more,
Wow.
but a whole entire lifetime was lifted off my shoulders once I made that decision.
I mean, I've seen the workouts on Instagram and stuff, but what are you doing dietary and fitness wise?
Right now I'm trying to hit a weight of 165, 165 pounds. Everybody's why? It's has nothing to do with 165. It has everything to do with how hard it is to get from, I started at 181 7 days ago. And on the 26th, when I hit the stage at Ohana Fest, thank you, Uncle Eddie Vedder, for
Mm.
the opportunity. Um, it's all about being dedicated to the process, because if I can do that little thing, which is probably one of the hardest things for mankind to do, is set a weight goal. Everybody wants to go, oh, my New Year's resolution, and they fall off. If I can be dedicated and disciplined enough to hit that 165, I'll probably pass it. But
Mm.
I can be disciplined to do anything. It's sometimes the easiest little things we take for granted, just losing weight, translates into the big business decisions. Right here, everybody's eating. I want a snack. There's uh, power bars. There's all these snacks outside in the studio. But is that help me? Is that going to get me where I want to go? No. So I don't do it. So I take that from the training aspect. Is that going to get me another rep? Is that going to get me stronger or faster? No. Is it going to, same thing in life? Is that going to help my relationship with my family? These mindsets and thoughts that come into my mind. Should I let that thought get me? Should I let that interrupt or interfere with the vibration I'm on right now? No. So the smallest little thing like losing weight, I translate across my whole life. And I feel that it's a lot easier when I can accomplish these little things that people take for granted, really help me on the really big, large, and very important decisions in my life, because I was disciplined enough, and I'm proud of that. And I know that if I stay the course, it'll come, because the only thing that follows hard work and discipline is results.
100%.
Yep.
It's a good reminder. Yeah, that those little wins, if you can accomplish those little things that end up being kind of the big things, they
A
really
lot of
do.
little things build the Wiz Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. It started with a tiny piece of sand in the cement, so we always, as humans, I feel, especially myself, it's when I'm supposed to turn in an assignment, I don't do it because of whatever excuse we want to give ourselves. Well, you're going to find out that all those little misses are going to build up to, and it's going to be a lot harder to get to where you want to go.
Yeah. Great reminder. Couple of surfing questions, or back to surfing before we close out. Are you still with Monster?
Yes.
So
Oh,
I don't know if you saw. Oh, there you go. I don't know if you saw. Stab Magazine just released an interview with Bobby
yep.
Martinez this week, and in that interview, Bobby was praising Monster for allowing him basically to operate outside of the traditional surf world obligations, going to signings or whatever. I'm curious how your relationship has been with them, and then also what do they expect of you? What do you expect of them? What is the relationship?
I was one of the first, I may be, other than Ken Block, God rest his soul and his family. Aloha to them. Is such a great teammate. I may be one of the, if not the longest standing Monster athlete there is. I'm not sure. We could probably get that stat, but Monster has been nothing but supportive all the way through. And from the music side to the struggles and everything in between, Monster was always there that I could lean on to for any type of resources that I need, whether it was just someone to be there to listen to me. They really support their athletes. They're really, really big on the foundation of the brand and where it started. And this is a contract year for me for Monster.
Okay.
And yeah, they've always been very supportive of everything that I've done. And I have nothing but love and respect for the team there. And so funny is my 66-foot wave. We used to go to like the Walmart signings back in the day in this little 10 by 10 cubicle when we first started with this little energy drink company. Nobody heard of it. My 66-foot wave used to wrap the Monster. So that plastic that goes over the cases, I would sign those for the buyers with Mark Hall's wife used to take me when I was young to go and do all that stuff. So I've been through a lot with Monster, and they've always supported me still to this day. And yeah, everything Bobby said about Monster is on point. They're the best.
So were there any expectations in the contract? Did it say that you had to do X, Y, and Z, or was it just we're
Yeah,
investing in you?
there's always deliverables on an athlete side for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, automatic. I mean, we've brought home world titles, we brought home all kinds of things, and we've been brand ambassadors very well. And I'm thankful they're still with me. But there's always a deliverable. You have to be accountable to something. It's a give and take relationship. And when you create the relationship, when they know that you're going to deliver what they ask of you, then it's a much smoother ride.
Yeah, I think there's everybody obviously has ups and downs in their careers, and some people's downs are a year or two. And we've seen so many surf brands clip people just because they didn't hit some certain deadline at a certain point. So I like when they give you the freedom to do you. And if that means you want to get in music, they see the value in, oh yeah, well, we thought we were in for this, but that's even bigger and better. And we believe in you. So go do you. I like seeing that.
Oh yeah, sometimes, like on Shark Tank, they might not have the best product or whatever, but they believe in that person, and
Yeah.
they invest in the person. And I think that Monster really sees the value in people and supporting those people and those brands.
Yeah, completely. Like, and Bobby as the other example of beating to his own drum, like no social media, no nothing, and he somehow still maintains more cachet and value to the surf community than if he had those things. So
Well,
kudos to
because
them
when
for
you're
seeing that.
authentic and you're you, it shines through and people can resonate with true authenticity,
That's all they
especially
want. Yeah.
nowadays in the world of fluff, you
Yeah.
know, because there's
100%.
like, I've been asked a lot of questions, about surfing, where has surfing gone? And I've even grossly misspoke about it because I just, like I said, once upon a time, I said things that didn't matter. And, there's like surfing, the essence, 99% of people don't get paid to surf. They surf because they love surfing. They love the ocean. It's an extension of Hawaiian cultural ocean lifestyle. It's one of the pieces, right? Corporate America obviously seen an opportunity, which that's what our society is, capitalistic, and they've seen a way to make a lot of money off of it. But the essence of surfing will never go away. And I said that before that, that they lost the essence of surfing. I lost myself. I can't, you know what I mean? So, but the way the surf industry is one thing. Corporate America surfing, the surfing and what it means to people to go out there, share time with their friends. It's like an ohana. Surfing brings people together. Surfing, no matter what, they're like, oh, surfing's dead. I hear this and that. No, surfing is fine. Surfing is a lifestyle that brings people together in a healthy way to share stories and friendship in the ocean. And it feels very good to do that, right? Now, the WSL version of surfing is pretty jammed up right now, corporate America one, right? So a lot of people, it's clouded. And I want to thank you surfing on Instagram for reminding me. Um, but surfing is alive and well. More people surf than ever. A lot of people, like I said, do it because they love it. And it feels good, and it's a good thing for the kids and generations to go to the beach and have fun. So yeah, I believe that I misspoke when I said surfing lost is lost and it's all over the place. No, surfing's fine. Corporate surfing is having a hard time right now.
Yeah. Um, what surf media do you follow at this point?
I think I follow Stab and Surfline. And I just started following. I'm gonna start following you folks right now. I haven't done that. Check this out. Okay. I
We
got what's your
last
let
it's
me type it right now.
at Surf
Yep.
Splendor. Last week's interview was Joey Cabell.
Oh, I love Uncle Joey.
Yeah. That was
I still
pretty.
have a picture up in the um right there. Boom, Splendor. You want to know who I follow? I follow Surf Splendor.
There you go.
You should too. No, but I'm on Surfline. I like to see some of the stuff. I don't really follow too much media. I follow Mason and Jamie O'Brien, Mason, a couple of the boys, my brother guys, Nathan, John, and stuff. But I don't really follow too much surf media because they make up their own story anyway about whatever they want to say, and it's usually talking about what other people are doing while guys are, just sitting there talking.
Yeah.
So I like to enjoy surfing in its natural form as much as I can.
Do you watch the WSL at all?
I haven't watched the WSL in a long time. Um, it's not because of any certain reason. I just, so other countries it's on in other times, and I don't really follow too much of what's going on there. But yeah,
Any thoughts on what happened to the Big Wave Tour?
I think that it was making noise, and they didn't like that it was outshining the other tour.
Really? You think that's what it is? Or why
I
they
mean,
why they don't do it anymore?
that's just my feeling. I don't know exactly what it was. I was in meetings where this, that, and the other was said, but everybody, the WSL is always a big controversial piece. But you know what? The WSL gave me a world title. It gave me opportunity. It gave a lot of people opportunity. So there's always going to be good and the bad, and there's always going to be the right side and the left side. I don't think the WSL is bad. I appreciate them a lot for giving me the opportunity to compete for a lot of years and test myself against the best. So It's not that I don't follow them because I don't like them or I think they're doing anything wrong. I just haven't followed. And you know, I probably got one of the best quotes in the history of WSL broadcasting. Bingo, bango, pickle, mango. That was the one there when John did that at Hollywood. So I mean, I've had a great run with the WSL. There's been so many, you know, they always talk about the WSL. There's so many great people at the WSL that work there, that pour their life into trying to do what they think is best for surfing, from even the statisticians
Yeah.
to the people that work in the office to, you know, these people really believe that they're doing the best that they can for the sport. And I thank them for that. And we really got to watch, you know, generalizing like I did with Quiksilver, because the WSL has so many great people over the years that have come and go, that have poured their heart into soul into trying to do their best for surfing. So the WSL has been a great platform for a lot of people. And of course, they're out there in the public eye and they're going to get flack no matter what. So,
Well, the public who's critical should also recognize the WSL loses money. And so it is a philanthropic effort from those who are funding it. And I think that it is kind of what you said, which is great individual people trying to do the good, but then a corporate interest that they're also trying to service that then muddies the water, you know? And so sometimes it ends up being convoluted. Sometimes we get great events in great waves and everybody's happy, but there's great people there and their heart's in the right place. So
I believe that anybody that's willing to pour 30 to 40 million dollars in and lose it must love it.
totally. Exactly. Along those lines, can you think of the best surfing that you've ever witnessed,
Ooh,
or the most impactful that left the biggest impression?
the best surfing. To
Take
me,
your time.
to me, it's the guys that do it because they love it. It's just to see people love something that was created by my ancestors, that came from little Hawaii in the middle of the sea, and that was shared around the world. The most impactful part for me is to see the smile on people's faces, especially for the first time when they get that first, only a surfer knows the feeling. That's the most impactful to me, because I think that really incorporates what surfing is all about. And to see that, to see guys like Raymana, whether it's in the middle of the desert in a pool, to me, it doesn't matter. When someone stands up and rides a wave and has a great feeling from it, that leaves the biggest impact on my mind, knowing that people love something that I love, and it makes them and their family and generations of families feel good.
I mean, Raymond is committed to making sure that happens for people, which is crazy. Like, I saw him, I don't know if you saw this, but he was interviewed and he said he's only gotten, in all of his time at Surf Ranch, 3 waves to himself. And he's been there for years. And they're like, "Oh, Raymana, like you get a turn." And he's like, "Oh, no, it's okay. Let so and so go." He's gotten 3 total waves to himself in all of his time at Surf Ranch, which
I
is
mean, just
wild.
it's pure law at its finest. You know, you get to go and help other people enjoy something that you've loved and it came from our islands. Our people sailed from Tahiti to Hawaii, so we're all one. We're not, you know, we're not separated by land. We're connected by water. And I feel that there's a reason the ocean covers 70% of the earth or whatever it is. It's the most powerful thing there is. And to see people enjoy that in its purest form, riding a wave, that's what matters. It really does. And that's why these companies pour all this money in and create companies, and your monopoly game, like they monopolized it. Look at it. They monopolized surfing right behind you. But surfing is
Damien
alive and
Hobgood.
well. Surfing will be here. Waves will be here. The board was man-made. The waves were from the gods. And I feel that it was put here to bless everybody with that feeling. Only a surfer knows the feeling.
Given your newfound lease on life and revitalized health, do you think that the best surfing is still ahead of you?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yes, my best surfing is gonna come my next session.
How's your knee
And
feeling?
my knee feels good. You know, I
Everything's
can
healthy?
appreciate surfing a lot more than I did.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, I lost a love for surfing, and it was was a trip. And now that I'm here on this side of things of life, I think every day that I get to spend in the water is special. Good, bad, ugly, upside down. It doesn't matter to me. When I get out there and surf and watch people enjoy themselves surfing, it's a win.
Good. Final question. Whose boards are you riding?
Oh, JS. JS boards. I ride JS boards. I rode JS boards for a very long time. Another brand and family. Jason has been nothing but so kind and supportive of me for so long. Even encouraging me when I wasn't surfing. I'm gonna send you a bunch of boards. I'm gonna send you a bunch of boards. What do you need? What do you need? Knowing that all I needed was boards at the time, and he did everything in his power to make sure I was still in the ocean, no matter what. And so thankful to be a part of that team. And yeah, that's my family more than a sponsor or anything. Those guys are family.
I mean, look, talking about relationships with brands, he's maintained super long-term, decades long-term relationships with a lot of his athletes. He's epic.
Yeah, that is an ohana right there. That's not just a sponsor. You become a part of the JS ohana. You're gonna be there for a long time. You know that man really dedicates himself to the relationships with his
Exactly.
athletes first and foremost.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great to see. All right. Listeners, this weekend, right? Are you doing Salento Fest this weekend?
Yeah, I'm doing Salento Fest down in at Cardiff. Taylor Steele and the boys gifted me the opportunity to headline that show. We go on at 3:30, play an hour set. Would love to see a lot of you guys out there. Come say hi. I'm not the big mean North Shore elitist that people might think I am. I'm actually a very nice person. I would love to meet each and every one of you and give you my aloha and hopefully get the same back. So thank you guys for having me and letting me share my story. Anybody out there that may be struggling, I'm always here. Reach out to me and shakas all the way.
Hey, man, it's been epic to see the latest chapter of your life and career. So bravo to you. Keep it up. We'll be listening to the music.
Thank you guys. Aloha.
All right. Thanks, Makua.
Surf Splendor.